game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Trevor Scott, and with me, as always, is Ben Slinger.
Hello, hello, hello.
Ben.
Yeah.
You've been rather sick.
I have been a little bit ill, so I hope that I don't cough too much through this and make you have to edit things out.
That's okay, because you got the next one.
That's right.
We're recording a few tonight, and then we'll record a few next week, and we're just trying to get a bit of a buffer in. But what we're going to do to start off tonight is Ramped Up Click Pitch. Mm-hmm. So Ramped Up Click Pitch is a game where we each have a random word or random phrase generator in front of us, where we're going to get an adjective and a noun, take those two words, throw them at each other, get a full sum of 4 words, and use them to just see what sort of game comes of that.
Yeah, what comes to mind? What can we think about with our game design brains? Let's do it.
So 3, 2, 1, click.
Spaced winter.
Huger baloney.
Okay. So maybe this is about storing things for the winter. Yep. Maybe there's like a mad scientist
in your mouth pockets. Yeah.
Who is like trying to enlarge food or something, or like shrink food and re-enlarge so they can store more food for the the nuclear winter that's on its way. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay.
I'm kind of liking like a sort of sci-fi doomsday prepper kind of situation.
Yeah.
You're building out your bunker with all these, and you can sort of upgrade your different sci-fi tools to be able to.
So what you see at the very start of the game, you see him driving up in his I don't know a better way to describe it, but pedo van, just turning up, locking the gates of like his mountain, kind of mountainy abode, where he's got
like a cabin in the woods sort of thing. Yep.
There's like underneath his house, like it's fully kitted out with. This amazing like lab that is, fully able to be sealed off and hermetically sealed and all this sort of stuff. But looks sort of unassuming and all that sort of stuff from the front. And just, the runs of going out and going, okay, this time I need to go get this.
Yeah. I wonder if it'd be interesting to split this into 2 phases and have it be almost a bit of a, it is a run-like sort of thing, but you start with the pre-apocalyptic phase, and that's where you get to, like, make some decisions on how to spend your time and money to stock up as much stuff as you can. It's like, okay, I am going to buy the shrink ray thing because that means I can fit more bologna in my in my pantry or whatever. But that means, I can't buy the heat shield that's going to, help me to keep the snow off and, when the nuclear winter comes or whatever it is. Like there's a bunch of different things. You can make those decisions. Yep. Apocalypse comes and now it's like, okay, how long can I survive with what I've done with the prep and with making runs out into the apocalypse for scavenging and for...
Yeah. So I'm sort of seeing it like a top-down Pacific Drive.
Yeah. I could see aspects of that.
So I like the idea of, sort of you going out, you're driving in your pedo van, going into random towns around the area because you go, okay, if I want this, according to Craigslist, I can get that in this town. So you go off there and you may only be able to get one thing from that town, and then some of the basics. But, if you manage to maybe go to this town, and this town, it's a lot harder to sort of, get out there. You've got a much shorter time frame to actually do that. You need to be moving very quickly because of how many kilometers it is. And, the third thing is volatile or something like that. So you've got to be very careful about how much, damage you're actually you're going to make to your car, because if there's too much damage, then.
Yeah. I'm almost picturing like the early GTAs now, like the top down.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm not picturing I'm definitely not picturing, sort of like that 3/4 of, Dead Static Drive or something like that. I think, yes.
Yeah, like full
on top down.
Yeah, that can be fun. Yeah, I like that. Going out on these missions, you've got to manage your like gasoline, your money, like there's still people out there, but they're all bunkered up, like hunkered down as well.
Yeah. And then when the fallout happens, it's like, okay, how good was your prep?
Yeah.
You know, were you able to build the shrink ray in time? So could you actually, you know,
store enough food or,
and then on your next run, you know, you may have now unlocked enough and that enables you to send something through, you know, the time portal that you've got there that effectively gives your next.
I like that for the roguelike thing of like, that's how you unlock new stuff for your next run is you send it back in time from this run. That's cool. Yeah. No, I like that. And I think you can take different tacts basically. So it's like, okay, I'm going to try for a more aggressive post-apocalyptic run this time, and so you stock up on weapons, or you stock up on the on parts that will let you build, you know, the fucking death laser that you need, or the freeze ray, so that you can just walk into towns after the apocalypse, take out all the people who are, you know, trying to stop you, and just take all their shit, and keep your supplies going. Like that's how you get supplies. You don't bother with the shrink ray. That's going to take too much time and money. I'll just build weapons and take them from people.
What season of Doctor Who are you in? Just,
I think still second or third. No, maybe just started third. Peter Capaldi.
So you've met Bill?
Don't know. Maybe not.
Have you? No. So it sounds like Clara's still around.
Clara died in the, trying to remember now. I think
they faced the Raven.
Yeah, the Raven. And then he was like 3 billion years in the future or whatever.
Yeah. So what I wanted to go about was Heaven Sent, which is the episode where it's a doctor only sort of thing. So, you know, he's going through the castle and all this sort of stuff. I think if you get somewhat killed, you your body just crawls back, you know, makes its way back and sends off the thing, no matter what. It's just like that.
I know. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you sort of send back to the past, trigger the past version, or
the thing is, you can only, like, depending on how powerful this time thing is, you may only be able to send one recipe back.
Okay.
And you go, okay, I now know
what
this
am I
recipe
saving
and
for
I
the next run. Yeah.
And then, you know, I think it's sort of like, it's accumulated.
Yeah.
Once you've unlocked something, it's like,
of course.
It just unlocks in the computer and goes, oh, I've got all these recipes. Obviously I've done this before.
Well, it'd be interesting actually to, like, that when you start the game, you don't have any sci-fi stuff. It's fairly straightforward, just prepper sort of things. But then as soon as the apocalypse happens, you come across this time device or whatever, and
in the back of the first vehicle that you come across.
And then, you start finding these like more sci-fi-ish, blueprints and things around and sending them back so that you can then sometimes, there's certain things you can start off with before the apocalypse even happens.
I love the idea that it turns out that it's actually just other yous that have developed all this stuff. So all the sci-fi stuff is just other yous that have already gone through X number of runs and found
and just
all these
sci-fi
things, because you for some reason are always going to survive through this nuclear thing and come out the other side and, you know, live for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's like multi-level loops then. Like, you don't realize that you've actually, like, you had to do it in stages. You couldn't just send all of the sci-fi stuff back. You had to develop it and then send blueprints back so that a version of yourself could find it and then send those blueprints back even further.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a limit to how far back you can send stuff, and so it has to be done in steps.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I love the idea of if you actually, you know, look at what happens during the very start, you actually see another version of the van that is sort of under a tarp or something like that in that first one. So you know that someone else has actually already come through, and it's like, you know, maybe the end boss of the game is like one of you who has gone insane and is now, you know, trying to become, you know, the only one who remains.
Yeah. It's like the one.
Yeah. I really like that. I think that could be kind of fun. Just
really cool little game loop there.
Just having the top down person even just running around and running into the house and you know.
Yeah, setting up your little rooms and with your different stuff and fairly basic interface, but it's cool.
I really like that.
All right. Let's move on.
3, 2, 1, click.
Yeah. Slipping mess.
Deceptive aberration.
Ooh, aberration. An aberration of what? So slipping mess for some reason made me think of like food spilt all over the ground. Like, thinking like jelly and custard and stuff, like desserts for some reason. So is there
deceptive aberration sort of makes me think of like a poltergeist or
I was thinking like is
some sort of ghostly
some food item that is actually a ghost of some kind that you're trying to like hunt down or something.
I like it.
Is it a bit like a prop hunt kind of game, but with food items?
Yeah.
Make sure you jiggle your jelly at the right time.
I don't know. I find that maybe this is just a single player game, and it's sort of like your man versus bee or
man versus bee. The Rowan Atkinson thing?
Yeah. I'm just I'm talking about you versus like a ghost in your house. Like I'm thinking, you know, it's a series of crazy shit that sort of goes.
Okay.
That goes
well, there
on.
is. So there's a bit of a trend of games recently, and it's because I think they're easy-ish to make and they stream well for some reason because you can kind of get chat involved where you'll be like in a house or in an area and you have to just sort of look carefully at things and then something happens, like you go to sleep or whatever and you wake up and you just have to like identify what's changed.
Ooh.
There's a ton of them.
That's certainly how that could start. Like,
and so I'm thinking like, okay, it's food. It's your fridge. It's like you've put everything away in the fridge for the night. You wake up in the middle of the night. You go to check your fridge and you're like, okay, what's changed? And then when you identify
put that sauce bottle there,
it like fucking attacks you. And then it goes further than that. Then it becomes a full on wacky action thing. But the start of it is identifying.
I said man versus bee, but I really meant, you know, like your mouse hunt, like any of those sort of crazy sort of things where the house is going to end up completely fucked up. And yes, it starts with food, but I think the midnight snack is just perfect. You know, you go and you know for a fact that, you know, that hot sauce wasn't open before. Or whatever it is. And then, you know, you go to click on it. It's like, you know, the whole thing, you know, slimes you a la Slimer or, you know, and then hides somewhere else in the house. And it ends up being
all the food just blasts out of the fridge as this thing like disappears. And then you have to find it somewhere else.
Yeah. And
I do like the idea of just going through your house with a shotgun, just trying to.
By the end of it, you
figure out what this thing is hiding in.
Yeah. And, you know, you could have so much fun with, you know, someone coming to check on you to see what's actually going on. And they find shotgun holes in the door and.
It was in the hot sauce. It's the hot sauce. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So what sort of view are we thinking? Are we thinking first person?
This feels like a first person to me.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I don't know why, but I like the idea of maybe bringing in, you know, sort of not Portal as such, you know, but those sort of weird, fucked up time mechanics or, you know, where you open up a closet door and it's like, oh, there's like, takes me to another part of the house.
Right. Like sort of non-Euclidean kind of things. Yeah.
There's something fun about non-Euclidean spaces.
Maybe it's a bit like that was it myhouse.wad or whatever?
Where things just change.
If you go through a hallway, like and view it from the outside, it's actually different than when you're on the inside. And like just all these weird things change depending on which
slightly
which
bigger on the inside than what it is on the outside.
Yeah.
And
all these little things that make it feel slightly off.
Oh, that's good. That's really cool. 3, 2, 1, click.
Clinical romance.
Oncoming, blaring.
Okay. So, I mean, clinical romance made me think of like a Grey's Anatomy kind of setup.
Oh yeah, I'm literally hearing in my head right now the theme tune from Grey's Anatomy, because my wife and I do partake in a little bit of Grey's Anatomy.
I haven't watched it in quite a while, but I've seen, I don't know, a good fucking 10 seasons or something.
I've seen a good 20 seasons. we're like we're four episodes away from the end of the 20th season. So,
but yeah, look, there's no shame there.
No, it's a good show.
So oncoming blaring definitely just like that's the reason someone's in the hospital, right? Like there was something coming towards them, or is it
an oncoming storm? Even, you know, it's like that can just be, you know, something in the relationship is, you know, about to go, and it's that sort of teetering on the edge relationship. So
I like the idea that, you know, you've got some sort of maybe a very, very dialogue driven kind of stuff. I think if you're doing a lot of romance stuff, but every time you want to move sort of the stage along, you go and get in the elevator, and you know that either they're going to be in there, or the doors are going to open at the bottom, and whoever you need to speak to is going to be there, because that's just the rule of elevators in hospitals. In medical
what if you
dramas.
could gamify the idea of, you know, this is a romance set in a hospital. You don't control the characters, but you can sort of nudge them together.
So more of a Sims-ish sort of thing, where you're
more of a Sims-ish
controlling
sort
the
of thing,
environment,
but you can like control whether they're in the elevator right now. Now I'll open the doors and they have to see each other. It's those sort of things. You see where your characters are, and you know which characters you want to get. Yeah. To, you know,
you can set off like a, you know, if you don't want those two talking to each other right now, you set off a
fire alarm,
or just like crash card, or whatever, like someone's coding in the other room, or whatever it is.
I like the idea that at any time you can sort of pause the action and go, okay, what do I need to have happen? And you can sort of Rube Goldberg it from a hospital point of view of, you know, such and such dropped his food, which stopped the nurse from, you know, they were having a little meet cute sort of thing, which meant that she didn't notice that Mr. Bolger was going to go have a smoke, and that sets off the fire alarm. I'm just imagining
all the systems here in place. You've got you've got vision cones, you've got predictions of what people are going to do at certain times, so you can kind of have a bit of control over that. You've got the relationship statuses. You know that if this person's angry with this person, it's going to alter their relationship in a particular way, so you don't want them to run into each other.
And I think you can do it sort of like we were talking the other day about like the Incredible Machine Rube Goldberg-esque things in VR, where, you know, that'd be great for seeing things in action. Effectively, it's a puzzle game where you know that all you want to do is get these two together, and in this particular scene, these are the things that are going to happen.
Okay, so it's more like individual puzzles then that you have to solve, but it's solving through like relationship dynamics and random events. Okay, that's cool. I like that.
Because then that's less systemy and, you know, having to basically program, you know, the world and relationships and all that sort of stuff, and more, you know, this is a scripted thing of kind of like a Hitman level of instead you're just trying to get two people to kiss in an elevator or
kiss in an elevator. Yeah.
Love in an elevator.
Yeah, I like that. And having them
when you're going down,
having them be a bit more, like a bit simpler than a Hitman level, obviously. But a series of them then, and it drives the story on as you complete each one. Yeah, that's kind of neat.
And the thing is, you can have DLC for it that are set in different office buildings and different.
It definitely starts feeling like a bit of a mobile, like a premium mobile game. I could see that, where it's like, you release a new chapter and
and then in between each chapter, match 3. Like,
why not? No, I mean, it feels a bit like those, you know, those little puzzle games that there was a Hitman one and there was a Tomb Raider one, I think, of.
Yeah, Hitman Go and Tomb Raider Go. Yeah. You're trying to get This turn, Lara can move three moves, but then
so I think
the other people
a
are
bit
gonna
less
move,
like specifically board gamey than those were, because those were very kind of
Very board
moving
gamey.
tokens around. But in that sense of like, okay, relatively short levels, and it's like, okay, well, I know that, this doctor is gonna like because I think then as you get to know the characters, that will inform how they're gonna how one character is gonna react running into another character. And so you can use that as a certain thing. And if you don't know, you just try it out and see what happens and then reset. And you're like, okay, don't let Dr. Horseface run into Nurse, whoever, because she hates him because he's up himself or whatever. And they'll get in a big fight and it will stop the people from actually.
You know that they are going to get together in chapter 5.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
It's not chapter 5 yet. It's still chapter 1.
Yeah. So you
go through the 10 levels of chapter 1.
It's about keeping track of the relationships. Yeah.
It's, I don't know why, but the game name through my head was Super Sexy Surgery.
Totally. I mean, that'll
Super
sell,
Sexy Surgeons.
That'll sell on mobile, I reckon. That's about the type of caliber of name that works there.
Yep. I love it.
3, 2, 1, click.
Happy Horny Hospital.
Even better. Even better.
I mean, you could even just go Horny Hospital.
Horny Hospitals.
Well, one of those is the name of the episode.
Definitely,
yeah. 3 to 1 click.
Yeah.
Anemic variable.
Tiring shooting.
Because you're anemic, you're tiring as you're going through the levels.
Yeah, so I was definitely thinking of a shooter game where as you go on,
you're just a middle-aged fat guy who
can't hold the gun up.
You
can't hold the gun up anymore. It starts like you have to account for it by firing higher because it's like starts drifting down.
He complains about how his ears are always like really, really sore because he needs ear protection because like guns are fucking loud, and even with the silencer, it was like, this is so fucking loud.
So maybe it's just a matter of like it's these quick shooting levels where your energy is your resource, right? And you're almost figuring out how to do a John Wick-esque execution of a bunch of people with the least movement possible.
Okay,
not for
instead of
efficiency,
super hot,
just because I'm
it's
tired.
kind of tired. It's super hot, kind of tired.
So do you reckon it's in VR? So then it is
100%.
it's your literal movements.
It's super hot, but the reason why it's so short is because it's like, I don't have the energy to do this.
You just like the best way to do it is just not to even move your arm. It's just to point in the different directions that you need to shoot and figure out ahead of time.
Oh god, there's something about that that is just so freaking hilarious. Like, kinda, tired.
Tired.
It's like, I don't even want to turn my head. Just shooting out to the side.
It's like if I move, time's going to move, and I'm just so tired. I don't want it to continue. I'm not ready.
And of course,
it.
the more that you move, the heavier the gun gets, and it's dipping down. So you got to kind of turn your wrists,
like count for it. That would be hell to play, but it's a pretty funny idea.
It's like one of those if you remember back in the day where you had Lemmings and then someone created like the like fake
a parody
version called Lamers or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, so this is like the parody of Super Hot.
Super Hot, kind of tired.
Yeah.
Yep. Luke warm.
Okay, let's go one more.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, click.
Folksia comeback.
Folksia? Like
FOLKSIER.
Folksia comeback.
Folksia.
Sport bulk.
It's sitting at a Costco because I just think of bulk.
There's the whole sort of folksy, like Southern American thing as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're making
you're a doomsday prepper in a
bulk.
Costco. but all you're trying to do is get all the sports equipment that you can and go.
I do like the idea of a variation on that where you're hiding out in a Costco, basically. And like Costco has everything.
Has everything.
And so it's a matter of like going through stealing stuff without the employees seeing you, making sure that when they do their sweeps at night, they don't catch you. And then you've got like in the back warehouse or something, a fucking tent set up and a stove.
It's not even in the back warehouse. It's literally on the store floor. Like
just in
there's
the
a tent set up and there's two mannequins and you just sit next to one of them holding a beer.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I love that idea of, you know, you sort of, you lost your job.
Yeah.
And you got nowhere else to stay. And you've bought this Costco membership and you can't get
you're like, I paid for this fucking membership. I'm going to make the best out of it.
Yeah. Cause it was like your last $60 and you're like, you needed to use a bathroom.
And yeah. The first time this happens, you get locked in. Because you were in the bathroom too long.
Yeah, you need to use the bathroom, and of course, they only allow it for customers. So you had to use your last $60 in your account,
right,
to buy a membership.
Yep,
and then they close the store while you're in the toilet.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking.
And so the game starts there.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking this as a bit of a like magical realism kind of. You find these wacky characters in there at night or something like different people who have
the
been
whole
living
Bed Bath
there
and Beyond, and you go into Beyond, and it's like another fucking universe sort of thing, like in the movie Click with Adam Sandler.
Yeah, totally.
You go in there. What's his fucking name?
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken. You see him. Hello.
I do like that. Like. This place just comes to life at night almost there's a whole bunch of people who are hiding out there and wacky characters and
it's literally night at the museum, but all the mannequins come to life from the Costco from all the different.
Yeah. And there's like giant rats or whatever who have been living there for so long and grown huge or.
Yeah. Because they've been eating the pizza in bulk and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah. There's an employee who just like lives there as well. Doesn't care that all this is happening. They're just totally chill. And
they just think that you're a mannequin who have come to life.
Right.
They go,
they know
there's
the
another
mannequins
one.
come to life. They're there on the night shift. They're having a ball every night. You have to convince them
They're
you're a
played by
real
Ben
person.
Stiller.
Yeah. It's very night at the museum. Night at the Costco.
Yeah. But I just love the reason why he doesn't kick you out is because he thinks that you're just like everyone else coming to life.
That's so funny. What, like this he's just useless as a night watchman because he just thinks everyone in there is a mannequin that's come to life, no matter where they've come from. He's had people like break in, just like, oh, I didn't know we were selling like beanies and dark turtlenecks. That looks good on you.
Thanks, mate. These just the diamonds here? It's like, yeah, put them away before you finish it.
The Costco diamonds.
You know how they got jewelry and all the,
Yeah, I'm sure
bullshit.
they do, yeah. I love that. That's cool.
They've got a whole heap of stuff in there that no one would ever buy.
Oh, no. I mean, yeah. Go in for a fucking eye exam and leave with a TV.
Yeah. But
or a spa
I don't
or
know
whatever.
why, but I really love that. It's sort of like a point and click adventure game of you trying to get your life back together.
Or I'm pitching it like some of those. There was one that was like After Party or something, I think, where you head down into hell. Like it's just very much dialogue based, but a lot, you move around with the thumbstick and like it's sort of a third person-y thing, but it's mostly like dialogue and inventory puzzles still.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is you can literally spend all day there because you got a Costco membership.
Yeah. Once they open, you're allowed in.
Yeah. And then you just got to hide out for that small amount of time before the night watchman comes in, because then he just thinks that you're the first mannequin to come to life tonight.
Yeah.
And it's like when everyone else comes to life, it's like, oh, you see me every night. You come to life. You come to life first. Everyone else is 10 o'clock on the dot.
That's so funny. All right.
I know this could definitely be fun. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. That's cool. All right. Well, I think that might be it for this
First
episode.
episode of tonight, yeah.
If you'd like to find us online, go to podchaser.com/bitstorm. All of our previous episodes are there. Go and check out the 4th in the Big Flip saga that we just released.
Yeah, it was
last
really good
week.
fun.
Check out how that game company's doing that we've been following along with.
Yeah, yeah. And I may have kept everything that we talked about in that episode before that, talking about how, we're not sure whether it got released before or after.
Now you know.
It's just funny.
Now you know.
It got released after. If you like the song that we start each episode with and end each episode with, that song is called Mount Defiance, off of the album Containment Failure by the band Kuradust. You can find it at kuradust.bandcamp.com for free. Download it. Listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Say on our reviews that you love the whole album.
Totally.
Or whether you don't like the whole album.
Yeah. We won't be offended. I mean, we might be a little bit, but
yeah.
We used to middle every episode with that song too. So
yeah, Eye of the Storm.
So that's right. Thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
And I can't remember any of the games we just talked about.
And Dr. Sexy in Super Sexy Surgeons, he's looking for love in all the wrong places.
And I'm a horny hippo hospital.